Hello and welcome to this BB Education cutting tutorial. Today's tutorial we're focusing on completing a classic round layered haircut but utilizing a razor to achieve a softer and more shattered result. We're going to begin working at the very front of the haircut. We're going to take a forward diagonal section, working from the profile section or center parting to the recession point of the hairline. We complete this on both sides, working symmetrical, working in from the parting outwards towards the recession point. This gives us our first section. We're working with a classic round layered haircut here. A round layer works very similar to a face frame. So we're going to take a very small section and subdivide our initial section. We want to subdivide just to ensure we have accuracy of choosing the appropriate length to suit the client's needs and to achieve the end result. We complete this on both sides, giving us a small triangular section in the middle. Once this has been cut, we can simply work the parting back into a centre and have a guideline for both sides. So as I take my section, it's important to understand how we use the razor and how we use this to achieve the result. We hold the hair with high tension. We start to use a stroking movement with the blade on the surface of the hair. Using this will give a very tapered and very shattered effect. The more slow and soft you can be here, the better, as this will give a more textured result, making the edges look like they were cut weeks ago, with a soft, natural, tapered texture. Now we take our next section parallel to section 1. We over-direct section 2 onto section 1, working to the same elevation we initially cut the guide. Over-directing section 2 to 1 means section 2 is longer than 1, so we have an increase in length travelling outwards towards the recession point. I hold the hair with high tension and you razor behind your fingers, not in front of your fingers. We'll take our final section, which is section 3, and this over-directs into the middle. So we're over-directing everything to a stationary guide. So section 2 and 3 are over-directed to 1. Once again, you can see that we're cutting our shape. We're working short to long with our distribution. So we're working short into long, not following our fingers. This helps us to achieve a face-framed feel to the haircut. We now start the opposite side working in the same way. We take our guideline as shown here. We take section 2 over directing it to section 1. And once again, we're razoring behind the fingers. That's where the tension is. We need the tension to keep the hair taut. That helps the razor to cut the hair more easily. And we glide through, working rather slowly, you'll notice. This is to help us create our short to long cut line. You don't want to work too fast, as this sometimes can mean you go shorter than you imagine. The biggest difference between a razor and your scissors, for me, is the scissors are more of a structural tool. The razor is more of a sculptural tool. You're sort of sculpting the hair with your razor, okay? We'll check the balance to ensure we're happy before we move on to our next section. Our next section is working parallel to the first section. But as the hairline changes, this expands from the profile section to just in front of the ear. We subdivide this section, working to the corner of the eye or inner recession point. This is just to ensure we don't have too much hair in our hands at once. We pull the section down to the same elevation we cut the section 1. You notice my fingers are moving away from the section. This means we're not working parallel to parting with our finger angle. As we cut behind, you see that I'm working in a very freehand way, not really following a guide. I'm creating my own guide here, working short to long to create a face frame. To continue watching the rest of this tutorial, visit benbrown.hair. Have a look at our subscription model to view over 100 tutorials step by step, and to view the end of this tutorial, subscribe to our site. Thank you for watching.